Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Ashley and today we are going to be filming this makeup look. I am so excited. This is the first makeup tutorial that I'm like officially launching on my YouTube channel. So I've done a couple before, like a couple years ago, but I never really stuck with it. So I'm really excited to kind of be relaunching my YouTube channel and to be really doing this now. So I'm super excited. So yeah, if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So we're going to start with our face today. And for primer, I'm going to be using the Stila One Step Correct Primer. I've been using it for years. It's so good. I literally just used up the last of this one like yesterday. Like there's nothing, it's all gone. So I use maybe like one full pump of it. And then I also like to go in with another primer. Totally not necessary, but I like it because why not? So I like using the Mary Kay foundation primer, and this is more of like a silicone based primer. So basically I just apply this like right in this area because that's where I get like my largest pores. I'm just putting like a little dot about like that much on my finger and then applying it. And sorry if you guys see me looking like that way just a little bit. I'm using my phone to film, and so like my screen is basically like my viewfinder, and I'm kind of using it as a mirror too. So I just look like right there just a little bit. It's because I'm looking into my phone. That's why, not the camera. Okay, now that we're primed, we're gonna move on to foundation. I like something that's a little bit lighter, a little bit more dewy and everything. So I've been mixing two foundations together and I really, really like them. The first foundation that I've been using is a L'Oreal Pro Glow Infallible Foundation. Really, really like this one. And then the Mary Kay CC Cream and Very Light. And the Pro Glow foundation is in 202 Creamy Natural. So when I mix these together, it's a really good shade for me. I'll talk about it in like a later video, but I have such a hard time finding my shade because I have an olive undertone and I'm fair. And typically companies make olive undertone foundations for deeper skin tones. So more times than not, you will see me mixing foundations to find my perfect shade. So when I mix these two together, it's pretty good. I just mix some on the back of my hand. So I put some of the Pro Glow. I'm gonna put some of the CC cream. So you can see the like difference in color there. So when I mix them together, they look really good. Mixy, mixy, mix on the back of my hand. So I basically just apply this all over my skin, just with my finger. And then I take a beauty sponge. Ignore how dirty it is. I haven't washed it yet. But this is the Eco Tools beauty sponge and it is so good. So next we're gonna go in with concealer, and again I typically mix two concealers together just so I can get a good shade. What we're gonna be using is the Mary Kay concealer in light beige and the CoverGirl concealer in light. This is the Ready Set Gorgeous concealer. The reason I use two is because the Mary Kay one, even though it's light beige, it is still really dark, but I love the coverage that it gets. So I use it for the coverage, not so much for the color. That's why I go in on top of it with the CoverGirl concealer, just because this is closer to the color that I actually want. We're gonna start with the Mary Kay concealer, and it looks like this. It has a really nice wand. We're gonna go right here because I have a lot of darkness right in that inner corner. We're also gonna go just right there because I have a lot of darkness right there. And then we're gonna do the same on the other eye, right here on the inner corner, and then right there where I have that darkness. and then CoverGirl. So I'm gonna pop this on just kind of right on top, just to brighten. So again, I'm gonna go in with that same sponge, that same like long flat edge, and we are just going to blend that in. I have had so many people ask me lately to start doing tutorials and talking more about makeup, because I just love makeup. I feel like I know a lot about makeup. Obviously, there's always room to learn more, to improve, and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited. Like I just knocked out my lighting. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to start my YouTube channel again and really stick with it this time and try different, you know, setups and things like that. See what I like best when it comes to filming. Like right now I'm using a ring light, and then I have another light like on my side to kind of, you know, balance it out a little bit. But I want to try filming like a natural light over on that side of the room too. So the more I kind of try things out, I guess, just let me know what you guys like. And I'm always up for suggestions, so if you guys have any video ideas or things you'd like to see from me, feel free to comment on my videos and let me know. So now we're gonna go in with just a little bit of cream contour. Just a little bit. I'm gonna be using this contour stick from Jordana. It's in the shade 01 Light. That's one thing I need to figure out on the iPhone, is like how to autofocus on products. Maybe like how people did it in the olden days, you know? I don't know. That's not working. But anyways, the Jordana Sculpt and Go stick in 01 Light. And we're just going to take a tiny bit of this, just like right there. A little bit. So boop. Boop. Just right there. And just a little bit on the forehead. I use this e.l.f. stipple brush. This is like a small, more dense stipple brush. This is typically what like stippling brushes look like, so you obviously can tell there's a huge difference, but I love this e.l.f. one for blending out cream contour because it just gives a more natural finish. So on days like today, it's a good option, and it's cheap, maybe $3 or $6, I'm not exactly sure. But we're just going to blend, and nothing too crazy today. I like to use setting spray like multiple times during my makeup process, just to kind of keep my makeup fresh and not too like cakey. So before we go in with powder, I actually like to apply a little bit of setting spray. I've been using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus and Natural Finish. I used to use the matte one, but I really like the natural finish one. So I'm gonna spray just a little bit on my whole face. And then after a few seconds of doing that, whatever excess is left over, I will take the bottom of my beauty sponge and just kind of press it into the skin so we don't have a lot of that excess setting spray just sitting on top of the skin. And you can see that just gives us even more of a glow before we go in with our powders. I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Clean Matte Pressed Foundation, and this is in the shade 510 Classic Ivory. This is what this looks like. So it's very light, so it's good for like brightening, and I like this under the eye area. So I'm just going to take the Luxie 516 Duo Fiber Powder Brush. It's not so dense, so it's a lot lighter of a brush, and it applies the powder very lightly. Next, for the rest of my face, to kind of set that all in place, I'm going to be using this powder from Flower Beauty. This is in the shade LO1, and I watch Casey Holmes on YouTube, and she uses this exact powder. And if you look in there, it's kind of Like it looks like an orange powder. Like how it looks on camera is how it looks in real life. And when I saw that, I was like, oh Lord, my skin is not orange or that warm. Like this is going to look crazy on me. So I didn't try it for the longest time after I purchased it, but then I was like, okay, Ashley, you have this powder, like start using it, you paid for it. So I like swatched it on my hand, and as I was like blending it in, like it doesn't really look orange at all. So I was like, oh, it's really not orange. So I started using it and I really like it. It's really good. I'm just taking that on my big powder brush. This is one from Real Techniques. So for bronzer, I've been using the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer. So many people talk about this on YouTube and love it, and for good reason. Look how much of this I've used. I have never, ever, since I started getting into makeup, have used this much of one bronzer. It is so good, and it smells like coconuts. Like you are on a beach, like a mix between tanning lotion and coconuts, and it is so good. So good. I'm taking this duo fiber brush. So any duo fiber brush will work, and I literally just take this and swirl it into the bronzer, tap off the excess, go in and bronze. Typically, they tell you to put bronzer like in a 3 shape, like that. I don't really follow that rule. I don't really like to put bronzer too much right here. I typically like to keep my bronzer more right here. So I don't go all the way back to my jawline, just because when I do and you put bronzer there, it adds that foundation line that we try to avoid when we blend our foundation down our neck. So I don't really like putting it there. So typically when I bronze or contour my neck area, I start here. So you don't really see that distinct foundation line right here. But when I contour right here, it still helps slim this area of my face. I start here, go down to my chin, but I don't go all the way back to my jawline right there. And then I also like to take a little bronzer just underneath my lip. That just makes my lips look a little bit fuller, so. And then I can never go without contouring my nose. I just can't. Like, it's one of those things that I've just done for a long time, and I really like the way that it looks on my nose, so I'm gonna do it. Not a necessary step if you don't want to, but the way that I contour my nose is super simple. I just take some of my bronzer, whichever bronzer I'm using for that day, so I'm taking the butter bronzer, and then a smaller, more dense brush. You could use an even smaller brush than this if you wanted to, and I'm just going to take it down the side of my nose, just right there. And then a little bit on the bottom of my nose. Simple enough. That's how I do my nose contour more times than not. I'm usually not too precise about it. I typically just go boop, boop, done. So for blush today, we're gonna be using 2 Mary Kay blushes that I mixed together. I'm using Shy Blush and Sunny Spice from Mary Kay. We've got Sunny Spice over here, which is more shimmery, and then we have Shy Blush, which is matte. They're basically the same color. One's just shimmery and one's matte. I don't think Mary Kay sells Sunny Spice anymore, which is this one, but I know for sure they still have Shy Blush. So if you can get your hands on Sunny Spice, do it if you find a consultant that still has one, but if not, no big deal. Shy Blush is basically the same thing, just without the shimmer. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I like to use setting spray a couple times throughout my makeup process, and this is one of them. Once I have all of my powders set down on my face, before I go in with my highlight, I like to spray my face again with setting spray. Basically, this just kind of helps again to reassure that all that powder that we just used is not sitting on top of our face. It's not cakey. This just helps to kind of blend it really well into our skin. And then this also gives a really good base for our highlight. So refreshing. Now we are ready for highlight. And the highlighters that I have been obsessed with lately are the Laura Geller baked highlighters. They're so beautiful. I absolutely love them. She sells them individually, but last Christmas, she was selling a little bundle like this, like a little palette, with 3 of her most popular highlighter shades. So if you ever come across like a palette like this, or if she does one again like this for the holidays, definitely pick it up because you get your most bang for the buck. So the colors that we have in here are Ballerina, which is more of like a darker kind of pink color. We have Gilded Honey, which is a beautiful golden champagne color. And then we have Peach Glow, which is actually my favorite. It is so unique. I've not seen another highlighter like this. I don't have another highlighter like this, but it's just a pretty kind of peachy golden color. Like, look at that. That is stunning. Oh, that's so good. This is Gilded Honey. This one is like a cult favorite. Like, everyone on YouTube and their mom owns this for good reason. Look at that. That's stunning. And then Ballerina. Ballerina is so pretty, but I'm just not as into like dark rose gold kind of shades. And that one's just pretty dark on my skin tone. This is a Sephora fan brush. I mix Peach Glow and I mix Gilded Honey. Tap off a little bit of the excess. My God, guys, these are beautiful. So then I also take a little bit straight down my nose, right there. I have a little eyeshadow on my knuckle. Also take a little bit mixed on my finger, just right here on my Cupid's bow. Now we just have the eyes that we're going to work on. And the palette I'm going to be using today is a Subculture palette from Anastasia. I have heard so many bad reviews on this eyeshadow palette, and I'm sure you guys have seen them too. Basically where people are like, oh, well, when I dig my eyeshadow brush into the palette, all of the pigment falls all over the floor. It's like, come on, people. When do we do our eyeshadow where we're like, you know, digging the brush into the actual eyeshadow? Like, never. I mean, if you do that really with any eyeshadow, that's gonna happen. That is going to happen. I think it just happens more with this palette because they are like pure pigments. Like, these eyeshadows are pigmented, like so pigmented. So it happens more than other eyeshadows do, but that does not mean that these eyeshadows do not work really nicely and are not beautiful shades, because they are. I'm gonna swatch a couple for you guys because I love them so much. This is what the palette looks like. It is stunning and so unique. Look at Adorn. That's this bronzy one right here. Look at that. That was one swipe. This is Roxy. It is stunning. It's like a beautiful, just kind of coral peachy color. Look at that. One swipe. I'll also show you New Wave. More of like a yellowy peachy shade. Like a true kind of peach. So beautiful. Edge, which is this beautiful yellow. It's kind of like a deeper yellow. Like, it's not like a true bright yellow. It's more of a deep, I think I might have still had some bronze on my finger there, but it's definitely a deeper yellow. Destiny, I think this one's beautiful too. This is like a matte olive green. Looks like that. I mean, come on, that is stunning, guys. So anyways, we're gonna be using Roxy today, and I'm just going to take my MAC 224 brush with a little bit of Roxy. So we're going to take this right into the crease. and then we're gonna take a little bit of Roxy just on our fingers. Let me wipe off that from our swatching we did. And then we're gonna push this onto the eyelid. Just like that. So I'm also gonna take a little bit of New Wave, which is that like true peachy shade that I showed you guys earlier, and just right on top of that shade, I'm gonna press it onto the lid. That's just gonna make it a little bit brighter and lighter. What we're gonna do next is take a little bit of that same Roxy shade and we're gonna bring that red underneath the lash. Okay, so I'm using this brush. I don't remember where this came from. It came in like an eyeshadow palette or something. But you can get this kind of brush anywhere. It's just not as dense and it's a little bit fluffier, so it helps just blend it out a little bit better. And then we're just gonna take a little bit of New Wave like we did on top on that same brush and tap off the excess, and again, just blend under our eyeballs. So yeah, that's pretty much the eye look there. It's just those two kind of peachy coral shades just all over the lid, all over the crease. It's not too precise or anything. It's just more of like a smoky, just natural kind of blended look. Just blend it out just a little bit more. You can never blend too much. So now we're gonna go in with like our highlight shade on the inner corner and on the brow bones too. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna use the highlighters I used on my face because they are so stunning. Okay guys, so we're on my patio right now, so sorry if the sound is kind of crazy out here. They're doing something over there, I don't know what it is, but it's making a lot of noise. But anyways, I guess I didn't realize my phone was about to die, and it died like right there at the end of me filming. But basically, I just added a little bit of that inner corner highlight. I added a little bit of the Ultimate Mascara from Mary Kay, and then just a little bit of the clear brow gel on my brows from Mary Kay. And that pretty much does the look. I am gonna add a little bit of gloss. This is the White Russian lip gloss from Buxom. So this is what the wand looks like. I love this gloss. It is so good. It's got like a minty kind of plumping effect to it, which is really nice. Okay, so that is the final look. I hope you guys love it. Let me know if there's any specific looks that you guys want to see. Just leave them in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.